So we're continuing with Superman Silver Age Dailies and the Great Superman Impersonation. Later that evening, that man you saw drown was undoubtedly the spy for whom we were searching. Now, Kent, we'll fly to El Samado, where you'll make a sensational appearance flying down in a transparent parachute to make people believe you're really Superman. But what if the chute fails? Nonsense. I've taken every precaution, and your offer to protect President Morrow will solve his problems. Superman's mere presence will scare away any potential assassin, eh, Carl? You bet. Kent will make a great substitute in Superman's absence. You said a mouthful, chum. Next morning. We're over Al Samado now. Bail out, Kent. We're passing through a cloud bank now, so no one will see you jump. When you land, proceed to the presidential palace. Don't worry. I remember everything you told me, including all the scheduled stunts your agents will help me with to convince all I'm the genuine Superman. But as Superman floats down, squawk, rip, rip. A flock of condors spotted me and are ripping my transparent invisible chute. Nice fix I'd be in if I were really a man without superpowers. Santa Maria, Superman is here. He flies toward the president's palace. Maybe he has heard of the attempts on our beloved leader's life and has come to help him. I'm sure those men don't notice the ripped invisible chute that was supposed to lower me to the ground safely. I'll time my entrance so that I arrive at the palace when Valdez does. But your Excellency hasn't eaten a thing all day. At least take a glass of wine, President Morrow. Nothing, I tell you, not till my food taster has sampled it. I'm concerned now with the bulletproof glass. I hired men to install a glass dome over my official car and a bulletproof glass booth from which I can safely broadcast. So you've returned at last, General Valdez. You said that you would bring back a great American here to protect me from assassins. Well, where is he? Whoever he is. I am that American, President Morrow. Superman, you will be my protector against assassins? Yes, I have heard of your peril, President Morrow. I'd be honored to take care of your safety. Do not celebrate too fast, Excellency. He may be an impostor posing as Superman in order to get close enough to assassinate you. I'd like to test him. Now to use that sword trick on Kent and impress Morrow. Test away, amigo. One of you guards stab Superman with your sword. Valdez bribed that guard to stab me with a trick sword that would break when it hit me. Uh-oh. The guard can't pull his sword out of his scabbard. Another guard is charging me with a real blade. If it shatters, Valdez will realize I'm the genuine Man of Steel. Uh-oh. If that real sword blade shatters against me, Valdez will realize that Clark Kent is the secret identity of Superman. This is no imposter. Only Superman could survive that blow. Crack! How cleverly Kent saved himself and our situation, Carl. He ducked just fast enough to let the blade strike his hair, which we hardened with our chemical spray. My super hearing heard that whisper. Valdez believes exactly what I wanted him to think. They ought to just patent that spray. Make some money. The blow from the sword blade didn't kill him. Superman is supposed to be immune to everything but kryptonite. Correct, Your Excellency. Let's see if bullets bounce off him when I fire the machine gun. No, don't shoot, you fool. That's okay, General. Let him fire. Kent will be killed. He is Superman. My bullets couldn't penetrate his indestructible body. Bert. This is incredible, Carl. How can Kent be alive? Examine him quickly. If his skin did repel those bullets, there's only one answer. Kent is the Man of Steel. Now to check and find out if Kent is really Superman. Otherwise, why didn't those bullets kill him? He's holding that's bulletproof glass. You grabbed a loose pane one of the workers left on the ground when no one noticed. The bullets bounced off the glass, not you. Naturally. What other explanation could there be unless I were really Superman? Ha! He doesn't dream that after the bullets bounced off me, I moved at such super speed I was invisible, that I froze a sheet of ice from that fountain with my super cool breath. When I showed it to him, he thought it was a pane of bulletproof glass. Well, how did it stop the bullets then? Why didn't the writer just have him grab a piece of bulletproof glass? Those tests proved you aren't an imposter, Superman. Now I can dismiss all my guards, forget about bulletproofing everything, and even start eating normally again. Kent was marvelous. He's made the President Morrow feel he's got nothing to worry about. Now we can make our final plans to assassinate our beloved leader. Shortly, a henchman reveals to Valdez, General, I happen to be patrolling the field Kent landed in, and see what I found. His parachute has been ripped to shreds in the air. So I ask you, how could Kent have survived such a drop with a useless chute? He couldn't have, unless, Carl, we have been tricked. Ha! This ripped parachute is proof that Kent is Superman's secret identity. That's why he looks like a perfect double of Superman and so cleverly passed those tests of invulnerability. The real Superman is protecting Morrow. Wait, General. This situation may enable us to kill two birds with one stone. Superman doesn't suspect we know he and Kent are the same person and still have that piece of kryptonite. If we create a diversion to separate Superman from Morrow, right, with makeup and a wig, we can get your actress friend Dolores Perlow to impersonate Lois Lane, whom Superman is always rescuing. If Dolores pretends to be in peril, she'll lure Superman into a kryptonite trap. Then we kill Morrow. Pardon me for interrupting your dinner, Excellency, but we caught this spy prowling around. She's Lois Lane, an American reporter, who has confessed to being an agent of the assassins. We shall execute her immediately. Superman, it's a lie. I was framed. Save me as you've done so many times. Darn it. Lois would turn up now. But if I show that I recognize her, Valdez will realize my Clark Kent Amnesia Act was phony, and he may become suspicious. I hate what I must do next. Don't let them execute me, Superman. Must deny I recognize Lois, or Valdez will realize my Clark Kent Amnesia Act was phony, and he'll become suspicious. Sorry, miss, I've never seen you before. If General Valdez says you're a tool of the traitors who want to assassinate President Morrow, there's nothing I can do. Cunning Superman. He's playing out his Kent amnesia role so as not to betray his real identity as Superman. You're lying, General, and I'm innocent. You know it. Whap! Bah! That Dolores is overdoing her role while impersonating Lois Lane. I think she gave up on the impersonation. Take Lois Lane into the cellar, guard. We'll execute her there. Superman doesn't fool me. Soon he'll show up to save Dolores, thinking she's his precious Lois, only to find himself in a deadly kryptonite trap. Oh, Valdez, you devil, you tricked me. Oh, ow. Yes, Superman, alias Clark Kent. We didn't discover your true identity till we found that ripped parachute. You'll die at the same time President Morrow is being machine-gunned upstairs. In the room above. Ha ha! It is time for you to die, esteemed President. Rat-a-tat-a-tat. Something is wrong. The bullets bounce off Morrow's body as if he were Superman. Rat-a-tat-a-tat. Good guess, chum. I am Superman, disguised as Morrow, and Morrow is downstairs masquerading as me. Now to cause these rogues to black out by inhaling most of the air in this room. Can't breathe. Months after in the cellar. Morrow, but you should be upstairs dead, not crashing in here like Superman. Traitor, I'm Morrow, and I'm locking up the kryptonite in its lead box so it can't harm Superman. That actress Dolores gave your scheme away when she slapped you. Yes, I knew Dolores, who had disguised herself as Lois, was an imposter after she slapped you with her left hand while denunciating you, General Valdez. You see, the real Lois is right-handed. So, after you left with Dolores, I traced you with my X-ray vision and spied your trap. I recalled your plot to kill President Morrow and use super speed to make some rubber masks. Then Morrow and I switched costumes. But Morrow reacted with such agony to the radiations. Naturally, I used my heat vision to give him a hot foot or two so he'd scream from pain. His Excellency agreed it was worth a few stabs of heat to outwit you schemers. You may have exposed my plot against President Morrow and saved his life, but I've got you, Superman. I now know you're Clark Kent. My men found your torn parachute. Wrong again, Valdez. I was flying over El Samado when I spotted Kent falling. After I saved him, I sent him into town while I took his place to upset your scheme. He's probably walking the streets this very moment. Oh, and there he is. Shortly out of prison. You're right. There's Kent now. Ah, I should have known better than to try to outwit Superman. Ha ha. Would you be surprised if you knew how Clark can be out there at the same time I'm here when Clark and I are really the same person and this isn't one of my robots? Superman asked me to do him the favor of walking around town as Clark Kent. I don't understand why, but who am I to question him? Valdez doesn't realize that man wearing a wig on his bald head is Manuel Baeza, who previously was named Biza. The chap I rescued from him who resembles me. Valdez kidnapped Baeza and tried to force him into impersonating me, now to return to Metropolis. Later on the outskirts of Metropolis, with my super hearing, I can hear faint shouts for help coming from inside that locked refrigerated freight car. Great Scott. My supervision reveals there's a man inside. I recognize him. He's none other than the great Baroni. So this is the finale of second volume, and there is a third volume. The complete strips from November 25th, 1963 to April 9th, 1966, starting with the great Baroni and ending with Rags to Riches.